another pretty decent night. I didn't. 6-horse fields are tough, right? Especially on a big track. I thought when I warmed him up, Royson's punch felt good. I said I'll land him behind Dougie. I really had thoughts of removing at the quarter, and then I said if I remove and James comes, now I've used him twice, shut him down, and then from that small little window, from halfway down the backstretch to the half-mile mark, it was clear that James wasn't coming, and I almost moved again, but it seemed like Dougie wanted to roll the front end, so I left him alone. I got jammed up in the last turn. I tried to get out on James's back and was going to kind of knife through, and Dougie was kind of cheating out a little bit, so I wheeled him back to the inside, and he went to shut me off, but, he's as small as a little mouse, so I only need a little bit of room. We snuck right through there. If I get a clear run at him, I beat him. I win the race, I think. If I get out where James does. Anyway, it doesn't matter, though. Numbers of 5, and he's got 4 wins, so it's nice that he finished third tonight. We'll get him out of that class soon, and then find a spot for him. But the big takeaway from tonight is that the horse belongs here. He's a nice horse, and, for a horse, I trained him, I schooled him in 2-1 on Friday. He was tight. But still, think about it. Qualified in 59 at the Meadowlands, schooled in 2-4 on that off day with James, and then schooled in 2-1. He still hadn't beat 59 since last September. I mean, tonight's a mile and what? He had to pace 56-4, I guess, with a good last 8th and 16th. So a good mile for Royson's punch. Proved that he belongs. Now, James has gone away next week. I think he's going to Mexico, actually. He's gone away next week, so we'll wheel Royson's punch over for that class again. I think he's probably sitting on a win, and then we got some questions to answer after that. But regardless of what happens on that 5th win, if it looks like he's going to get in a little tougher, we have the Meadows, we have Northfield, we have Flamborough, London, we have an seamlessly endless supply of classes. A mid-level, decent, tough condition horse. Lots of spots for him. So whether it's here at Mohawk or in a number of other places, we got places for Royson's punch. Looks good tonight. A few little changes too with the shoes. I could hear him coming to the half. If I can hear him through my earmuffs picking at us, like I have one of these, like a shell on my ears and a turtleneck over up top of that. If I can hear him picking at his knee once in a while, he's more than tickling. He's giving a little scratch. So what we'll do is he's got full swedges up front. We'll probably just shim him out just a hair. So what we'll do is take a little piece of, if you guys have ever seen a rim pad, if you've ever looked close at a horse's foot and see a piece of blue plastic in between the shoe and the foot, or sometimes it's black. They can be a number of colors. That's just a piece of plastic about that thick. It takes a little of the shock. Right? It absorbs some of the shock. So what we'll do is use that as a degree, or half a degree. Put that on the inside part of the foot. So really the foot goes like this. Now the way he stands a little bit like this, if you tip him out, he's going to come off the ground and come back this way. 1, he's going to miss his hind shin, and 2, he should miss that opposite knee, which should give him a little clearance. I believe that will do the trick. We're going to slide some aluminum shoes on him behind. I'm not a big fan. This time of year, I don't mind getting the baby trotters gated with them. They can't have them on long. They don't absorb much shock. They're very jarring shoes, but a lighter alloy. But at the same time, they serve their purpose sometimes. So I think we're going to go from a steel to aluminum shoe behind on Royson's punch, shim him out just a hair, and I think you'll see, you may have thought that was a clean mile. I could hear the few little mistakes that he made. He won't make those next week. He'll be sharper, tighter. He'll be the horse to beat in that class. Now, the only problem is Roger May. We can't afford to lose a horse out of that class. Hopefully Roger's filly still fits it. I don't know. What else? I went with, so I guess the good news, Locotelli raced well, off a week, closed up to be second and raced well. The horse that won it is an open trotter. Dream Nation, very much similar to White Tiger right now, right? In fact, maybe a little better than White Tiger. Very similar, though, in the sense that can't quite do the open, but in with those backup class horses with the right trip, and Scott Young gave him a good trip. With the right trip, he's going to pounce on them, and he's going to look like that all the time. Locatelli closed up good to be second. Now, Kings County was, I'm just getting the text coming in from the scope. I think they said there was a trickle of blood there. He felt like James said he did last week, right? He felt, he said he schooled great. Then last week he won, but James told me after the race, he said, Anthony won, but he won on class. He didn't feel awesome, certainly didn't feel as good as he did in the schooler. We scoped him, nothing to be found. Blood work was a little off. We had a an elevated liver count and an elevated bilirubin. The bilirubin would be an indicator that maybe he bled, but there was nothing found in the scope, so that was weird. Tonight there was a little. See if I can do this. I can't. Well, might be able to cheat a bit. Can I? No, I can't. Regardless of what's going on with him, he's a better horse than that. There just seemed to be a power outage. He seemed a little discomfort, not soreness-wise. The biggest problem was left hind, he lost a shoe leaving the gate. Track didn't seem super icy tonight. Did the left hind shoe, barefoot, play a role? Yes, it has to, but he looked very similar to the way he looked to James last week. A little different bunch tonight. So the good news is he's got 10 starts now. So there's classes where it's non-winners is so much last 2 years, minimum of 10 starts. So he drops way down for a start. Want to make sure we get him proper. He was not perfect tonight. Now, if there was a little bit of blood there, this is going to have to be addressed because he didn't train in between starts. We didn't train him close. We only warmed him up one trip, 2 laps on the track. There's Jim. James, that is an ugly coat. No. Paige, don't let him. You don't like that, do you?
Actually, I bought it for him.
No, but you like that? Well, I see a lot of people wearing it. It just looks foolish. Yeah, whatever. So, Locotelli was good? Hopefully they let him back. He should fit back in there again, right? You doubt it? Well, we'll have to see what they're going to do with him. He's close to being rested anyway, so whatever. If it's the open or nothing, he's going in the field. That's fine. The other horse drops down. That's 10 starts. He's got 30 grand made last 2 years. Yeah, so he'll drop weight. I think they said he bled a little bit. No, that's 10,000 made. He's got 30 grand made in 2 years. Well, I don't know. Whatever. Either way, he fits cheap. Yeah, either way, we'll get him cleared up. Like, he shouldn't, if he did bleed a little bit, he shouldn't have tonight. We didn't train him in between. He only jogged once warming up, so I'll get to the bottom of it. We'll figure it out. Take care. So that was James just pulling out. Got to make fun of his coat. Don't quote me on the blood thing. I just read snippets of a text when it was coming in. He certainly felt like he bled a little bit tonight. And keep in mind, we had to treat White Tiger. If you use him, stress him. If he's not on his game, if there's any mucus or anything going on in that airway, even through Lasix, he'll bleed. So there's that very meticulous, structured training schedule for him, and we can slide White Tiger or Locotelli into the same thing. Mechanically, he didn't feel as good as I'd want him to see. There's a horse I think Aluminum's behind would help him. He's got that big, rangy kind of, almost looks like he's got rubber boots on behind when he's trotting, but big, powerful horse also. So I think we'll opt for Aluminums until the corks come off. We'll opt for the Aluminums behind, and if there is anything going on in his airway, we can fix that. There's nothing glaringly wrong with the horse. I don't think he did anything tonight that he didn't do last week. So just a matter of recognizing the issues and addressing them and fixing them. And there certainly doesn't. My biggest thing with him is keeping him sound, and he certainly seems sound as a dollar tonight. He was good that way. He wasn't running in when we got him and schooled him. He was on the right line a little bit. Now he's straight, feels comfortable. I was happy with him that way. But clearly they're a little bit of a power outage. So he's missing that fifth gear that we know is there. His horse trotted in 51, was a winner last week, so wants to do it. The talent is there, the class is there, the speed is there. Let's just help him a little bit. So Locotelli was great. Royson's punch, I suspect, is probably going to be pretty close next week. And Kings County, what went on with him tonight, it's an easy fix regardless, and we will get to that. So a good night again tonight. Compass Rose, DC. The races were canceled in Northfield. I'm about to make a call to Tim Twaddle, see if there's anything at the Meadows for her. She only got a couple of starts left, and then she's done for life. She's going to be bred. We locked her into Enterprise, so that's where she's going. What else? Wednesday, a big day for us. Tomorrow's a big day. Gonna get up tomorrow and school. We're gonna train 65 horses tomorrow. Between the 2 and 3 year olds. There's supposed to be some mild temperatures and rain coming Wednesday. Here, I'm leaving Wednesday morning and heading to Northfield Park. We have 5 in Wednesday night. Jason stayed, trained them all a little bit today, said they were all real good. So expecting another good week here at the stable. Be happy. Always fingers crossed. We're on one hell of a run. Talk to you all soon. Take care.